Millennials Suck Podcast, millennialsuckpodcast.com. We are here with H7lls from the BlackLite Showcase. How you doing, my man?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So let me ask you a question. Talk to me about your music. Like how would you describe your music to someone if you had to?
I tend to make music that is kind of dark, like that's real.
Okay.
Like that people will feel, but they don't feel comfortable opening up about.
Right.
And basically my music, I try to help people feel more comfortable, opening up about that stuff and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, trying to set an example of like, yo, if I can say this shit on wax and release it, you can feel that way too. You know what I mean? Type shit, which I respect. I like there's like a bridge that you're building with your audience to being like, yo, if I can present, myself in this light, you can do so for yourself and really work through your own shit. Would you say music is kind of like your outlet then?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of how you vent through like your negative emotions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not able to, vent to people. So I feel like that's the only way I can vent about how I feel.
Right.
Stuff like that.
No, I get that. I mean, when I was younger, I felt like the only way for me to really, exhibit my emotions was through, music as well. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
How long have you been making music?
Well, I have been making music since about freshman year, so about 2017.
Okay.
But I was doing mainly like rap stuff, and I was going under a totally different name. But I started doing the type of music that I'm doing now since about April of last year, so 2022.
Okay, so you're relatively new to making music.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So what sparked that transition from the rap to your current stuff?
Well, I was going through with my ex, I was going through some really hard stuff, and it's just a bad relationship, and I couldn't talk to her about it because she would, just make me feel some type of way for thinking that.
Yeah, you can't have your own emotions and situations.
Yeah, we
which
get
is
that.
Unfortunate.
Sure.
And I had that music background, but I kind of wanted to switch from rapping to, speaking about some relatable stuff and stuff that I felt. So I'll just start finding beats and jotting down how I feel and notes. And actually, I don't even sit there and write a song. I'll just sit there and say how I feel, and then I'll rhyme it. And then I can just flow in the song.
All right. That's a real
I put down. Yeah.
easily creative way to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like as far as digestibility goes, I mean, like, that's a really great way of going about it anyway, because it's like, the mental, the people's mental health is already so complicated. And it's so like, when you're trying to describe how things feel, it's so complicated to adjust to it as it is. So it's like when you're giving things to people in a way that it's like, here's how I'm feeling, this is the best way I can describe it. You know what I'm saying? When it doesn't distract from what you're trying to say for the sake of trying to put too much creativity into what you're saying. It's like I'm just trying to be real with y'all so you can be real with yourselves, which again, I respect that very much.
Right.
So how long? Oh, I already asked you that. My bad. And you said you're from Cincinnati. We already discussed that. How long have you been working with BlackLite?
Since when I started making the music at H7lls, so around April last year.
Okay, so you what? You did a Google search of like local studios, or?
Well, actually, somebody from my school when I was still rapping, they told me about this place, and it kind of just hit my mind again last year, and I was like, what, I'll give it a try. I actually came here on my birthday. It was like a birthday present.
Hell yeah!
And this was actually just for fun. But then I heard the track after Max mixed it, and I liked it, and I felt like, this is something I could really do. So I just kept on coming back in. And yeah.
So do you work with Max more directly?
Yeah, only Max.
Yeah, Max is my guy. That dude's a savage.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, when it comes to, the vulnerability side of your music, like really like opening yourself up to it and then, pouring yourself into your songs, like, is that something that comes easily to you, or is it something that like it takes you time to pour into because you're like, do you have any like apprehension about like who might hear it and think some type of way about it, or is it just you being your most authentic self?
Well, growing up, I feel like I really couldn't be myself or have emotions or have feelings. Kind of had to just bottle them up. Kind of have like this superhero kind of.
Yeah, bulletproof on the outside, falling apart on the inside.
And I just said, fuck it, like I'm tired of this. Like, I want to be able to show my feelings, and I want to, make music for people that feel the same way. Like, they weren't allowed to have feelings at all, and they're just like, fuck it, like, I wanna be me, I wanna feel again, all this shit.
Right.
And
He says it's time to open this shit up because it's about to explode if I don't.
No,
Yeah.
and once again, I mean, I think that a lot of people that, you know, get into music do so because they find that it's easier to express yourself sonically than it is in any other way. And I think that it's great not only that you have that outlet, but you're providing that, you know, cathartic in some sense, a cathartic outlet for the people that hear it. And I think that that's relatively noble to do, you know what I mean? Because it's not as if you're out here just, you know, fabricating your emotions for the sake of getting sad people to jump on board with it. You're making yourself vulnerable in the hopes that the people that hear it can appreciate it for not just what it is, but also the fact that you are being vulnerable in it, which I respect that heavily.
Thank you.
So do you have you have any like releases coming up or anything like that?
I do have a couple songs in mind that I want to drop. I'm just trying to figure out which song I want to drop first. Or
Gotcha. So you have like a collection of songs that
Yeah. I have like 10, 15 unreleased songs. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to do first.
Okay.
I might have this song coming out called World's Strongest Man.
World's Strongest Man?
Yeah.
Mark Henry, got you.
Yeah, type shit. Yeah.
Sorry, I watched the Elimination Chamber last night, so I'm all wrestled up.
Yeah, I used to watch that stuff too.
I can't stop, man. I've tried to stop, and I always just come back to it because I smoke weed and then I get bored.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, it would be fun to watch grown people throw each other around.
Who would you say your biggest influences are for this current genre that you're in,
Or just in general.
or in general?
Peep, Juice, XXX, Tentacion.
I
People
fucked with
like
X
that.
so heavy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to that guy.
Rest in peace to all of them.
And
man.
Juice for sure. And
Yeah.
you did say Peep, so yeah, rest in
Yep.
peace to all of them. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. Like you are in that younger, you know, wave, so it does make sense that, you know, because I'm a little bit older. You know, I'm 30. You know what I mean? And when those guys were coming up, I wasn't like really paying attention to what was new. I was just kind of listening to what I was listening to, and so it's kind of cool to see, you know, the artists that they influenced coming up and how like they intermingle with everything that's already been around. So that's actually pretty cool.
Right.
So we talked about, you know, how you got into making music. Was there like, would you say there was like any type of like musical influence from like your background or your family in any way that would like kind of push you in that direction at all?
Yeah, actually, my brother used to make music,
Okay.
and I always wanted to hop on a song with him and stuff like that, but
Right.
he would never let me just because I was too young and he didn't want to mess up what he had going on. But
Right.
I grew up and then I still had that passion, so I would just always write. And then my school that I went to had a studio, so then I started recording.
Oh
And
yeah,
then,
where'd you go to school at?
Oak Hills High School.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you, what would you describe your like your live set energy like? Would you say that it's kind of like low and emotional? Would you say that it's kind of like upbeat? How would you describe your like live energy?
It's kind of, yeah, I would say emotional. I tend to get in my feelings a lot.
Right.
And just try to get the people in the crowd in touch with how I feel. I wanted to present how my music's presenting.
Right. So you just kind of want to like you want to make sure that like when you're doing your music, you know, it's like, listen, this is actually coming from me, and I want y'all to feel it the way I wrote it, not just how it is. And I respect that.
It's definitely authentic, like 100%.
You said you got some releases coming up. Where are you available at now as far as where your releases are and such?
What do you mean?
Like where's your music? Where can they find your music at right now?
All platforms, honestly.
You're everywhere?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What about socials? Where are you at there?
Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, that's it so far, honestly.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you sitting down with us. I would
sir.
like to ask you one last question, and this is kind of just more like an overture question. Like, if you could tell your audience one thing for them to like understand about you personally and like how you put yourself into your music, what would you want them to know about you?
There's a lot.
Or what would your overall message be, rather?
Just keep going. Like, you can only save yourself, honestly. Like, stop caring about what other people think and just do it for yourself.
There you go.
You only live once, so
Do
make
what
a
you
name
love
for
and what makes you
yourself.
happy.
Oh yeah, take it by the
Hell yeah,
horns.
man. Well, we appreciate you hitting us up. Where can they find you at on socials?
On Instagram, H7lls. You can find me on there.
We look forward to your set tonight. We appreciate you sitting down with us. Thank you so much.
you.
Sorry we had our schedule all mixed
No, you're
up,
fine.
but we appreciate you.
Great having you, man.
And,
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely check out your set, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.